Hello, my friends. My name is Ellen. Welcome back to my Southern Kitchen and the 4th episode of Ellen's Juneteenth series 2025. I love me some good old Southern tea cakes, and I've done 2 recipes here on my channel, the classic and the lemon tea cake, and I'll post a link to those down in the description box below. So today I'm going to share with y'all another tea cake recipe. This time we're going to make a chocolate version. Oh yes, sugar, chocolate tea cakes. And my friends, these are so simple and easy to make, and as always, it is the bomb.com delicious. Everybody's going to love and enjoy these. Perfect for Juneteenth or any time of the year. And I'll post the complete recipe along with the instructions down in the description box below. Also check out my previous video, No Bake Strawberry Cheesecake Lasagna. I'll post the link to all of those down in the description box below. So turn on your oven, grab your rolling pin, your flour, and your cocoa powder sugar, because we're about to bake some chocolate tea cakes magic in my Southern kitchen. Here we go! Alright, my friends, the first step we're going to do is prep our dry ingredients. We need 3 cups of self-rising flour. So we're going to take our 1 cup measurement and fluff it up. Using a butter knife, we're going to level it off. Voila, perfect cup. And we're going to pour it into my sifter and large bowl. Now we need 2 more cups. Just repeat the process. That's 2 cups. And 3 cups. So that's our 3 cups of self-rising flour. And into our self-rising flour, we're going to add in 3/4 of a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. And a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Going to sift these together, or you can whisk them if you like. Alrighty, dry ingredients are done. Now we're going to set this aside while we work on our wet ingredients. In my stand mixer with the paddle attachment, or you can use a large bowl using an electric hand mixer, we're going to add in 1 cup, which is 2 sticks or 16 tablespoons of unsalted butter that'll let come to room temperature. It's nice and soft. And into our butter, we're going to add in 1 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. That's 1 cup here. And for the 3/4 of a cup, this is a 1/2 cup here and a 1/4 of a cup. We're going to cream these together on medium speed until they're fluffy. Make sure you scrape the bowl occasionally. Alright, my friends, now we're going to add in 2 extra large eggs at room temperature. Going to add them in 1 at a time, beating after each egg. Alright, my friends, next we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. That's a cupful. And a 1/4 of a cup of buttermilk at room temperature. You can use store-bought or homemade. I'll put the recipe to my homemade buttermilk down in the description box below. And mix until it's well incorporated. Alright, my friends, now we're going to add in our dry ingredients a little at a time. And mix. Alright, last of the dry ingredients. Continue mixing until it's well blended. Be careful not to overmix. All right, my friends, I am through mixing up my dough. Look how nice and thick that is. That looks great. It smells so good, nice and chocolatey. Now we are going to pour the dough onto a floured surface. So I'm going to dust some flour, and I'm using self-rising flour. Now I'm going to add some flour onto my dough and knead it a few times. You can always add more flour if needed, but be careful not to add a lot. Alright, as soon as I get through kneading up my dough, I'll bring you back. Alright, my friends, I am through kneading up my dough, and off camera, I placed it onto my plate. We are ready to cover it. We are going to cover it in plastic wrap. Now we are going to place the dough in the refrigerator, and we're going to let it firm up for 2 hours. And I'll see you then. All right, my friends, it's been 2 hours and our dough is nice and firm. We are ready to roll it up. So I'm going to dust some flour. Going to place it on a lightly floured surface. Add on a little flour onto my dough and knead it up. Oh, this dough is nice and soft, squishy like a pillow. So now we're going to take my rolling pin and flour it up, and we're going to roll it up to 1/4 of an inch thick. Now we are ready to cut them up into tea cakes. So I'm going to use my biscuit cutter, or you can use a glass. Going to coat it in flour and just cut them like this, but don't twist it. Just like that. Alright, as soon as I get through cutting the rest of my tea cakes, I'll bring you back. Alright, my friends, I am through cutting up my tea cakes, and off camera, I place them onto my 9 by 13 inch baking pan that are lined with parchment paper, and this recipe makes about 2 dozen tea cakes. Now we are ready to put them in the oven. Oven's preheated to 325 degrees. We're going to let it bake for about 15 minutes. Be careful not to over bake them. You want them still a little soft in the center. And I'll bring you back. My friends, I smell tea cakes. I just taken them out of the oven. Smells heavenly up in this kitchen. Nothing like the smell of tea cakes baking. So now I'm going to let them cool in the pan for about 10 minutes, and then I'll plate them up. All right, my friends, there you have it. Old-fashioned tea cakes updated. Chocolate tea cakes. Doesn't that look good? Now it's time for the best part, the tasting. Here we go. Got me one right here. Look at that. Nice and golden brown on the bottom. Please have a bite. Look at that texture. Chewy, buttery, chocolatey. Oh, this brings me back memories of being in my grandmother's kitchen. We used to have some every Sunday after church. And this chocolate version right here make it a little extra special. These tea cakes are phenomenal, my friends. Please give this recipe a try. This deserves another bite. Yum-o. Chocolate tea cakes licious. My friends, many thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video recipe, please give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And for more Southern magic in my kitchen, hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so that way you'll be notified when my new videos come out. Also, follow me on social media, Facebook, Ellen's Homemade Delights, and Instagram at Ellen Delights. And please send me an email, ellenshomemade-delights@gmail.com. I would love to see your beautiful creations with my recipes. And I'll see you next time. Let's eat, much love, and happy Juneteenth.